radical bar now seems to be falling apart. What came in with all the vibe? The new team now seems to be at loggerheads. Of course, over the ways, the working ways of the president of the Uganda Law Society, Mr. Isaac Ssemakadde. Just yesterday, a team of 4 members of the council disowned the president over his remarks. The unpalatable remarks.
Are they disowning the president or disowning the statement of the president?
The remarks. Okay, the remarks. Well, we have Mr. Philip Munabi, the secretary of the Uganda Law Society. Council, good to have you, and a very good morning. I'll start off with what Shamim asks. Are you disowning the president or his remarks?
Thank you, Mr. Simon and Shamim, but I also thank the viewers who are tuned in. First of all, we need to understand that leadership, the new leadership that you call, went into an election and we came, everyone on his ticket. It's not an alliance. I don't know why people are confusing it. It's not an alliance. What does it mean? It means there should be freedom of expression. If I disagree with you as president or as a leader on council, I should make my position clear. Mm-hmm. It should not be taken that if I disagree with you, it is a war. It is not a war, and it is not a crisis.
Okay, there is every indicator of a simmering crisis within the
However, the people can choose to call it that. The people can choose to call it a crisis, but what is clear is in our day-to-day living, Simon Kagwanjala, it is bad, it is wrong for me to use what you have called unpalatable words against you, against your body, against your person as a leader. It is just natural. I don't even need to lecture you about that. I don't need to lecture you, Shamim, about that.
So you're disagreeing with parts of the statement?
We disagree with the words that were used. We actually, the statement was clear. We disassociate. Because what happens, and people are very funny, what happens is this. Whoever views that video communicates to me or any other member of council. Council members, what are you saying? You guys, check the words you're using. You get it? That is behind the scenes. You get it? But I, as Philip Munabi, or Secretary of Uganda Law Society, I have not been on any platform and made those remarks, or we have not sat in any meetings and endorsed those remarks to be used against the person of the Lady Justice Jenna Bodo. No, we have not.
Yeah, but
so the president,
that is what there is a sense that this is a build-up to things that have been happening for a while, that you have consistently been very uncomfortable with the workings of the president.
I don't know where you get that, but I'll tell you, we work as council. We work as council. Unfortunately, even the lawyers that we lead right now have been made to believe in their heads that society works on the person of the president or council works on the person of the president. The president is the face of the society. The president can make binding decisions on society, you get it? But the president works with council. And in council, there can be points of disagreement. For instance, let me tell you, it can be financial disagreement. Assuming the president came and said, we want to spend 100 million, and the treasurer said, we have 25 million. Isn't that a disagreement? Is it a war? But let me get straight to the point. Our statement was on the holders of persons of holders of public office. If I have a problem with Next Media, let it be with Next Media.
Can't you resolve it internally? You would have resolved this internally. Isn't that what prudence demands?
Is it the internal position that we should attack Simon Kagwanjala? Is it the council decision? Is it? But even then, our statement also further said, these statements have been made before, even before we came into leadership. So it shouldn't be looked at as, our leadership shouldn't be looked at as a protracted end to meet the demands that were there before we came into leadership. There should be sobriety somewhere. And this is what we are communicating.
You demand sobriety.
There should be sobriety. We don't demand.
From including your leadership.
Yes.
And you are part of this leadership. And you say those are statements that have been used before, now used again when you're in leadership with
you see,
the president. And certainly, his language might not be termed in any way possible.
Let me tell you something that you should put in your heads. In the highest form of antiquity, people did not know that they had leaders. In the next age, they respected and loved their leaders. In the next age, after respect and love, they despised their leaders. You get it?
At which level are you?
At which level are we? That is where I was taking you. At which level are we? That phrase can also be used in campaigns. You get it? I can come and promise 1,000 things. But when I get into leadership, I need to have strategy of how to achieve my ends.
Okay. If I could sum it up, you're very uncomfortable with the indecorous character of your president. But you embraced the radical new bar.
The radical new bar has 4 agenda items: decolonization, demilitarization, digitalization, and what?
Democratization.
And democratization. Very good agenda items. Very good agenda items. How we achieve our items also matters.
You think the agenda shifted since?
The agenda has not shifted. The vessels through which we are taking the agenda or achievement of the agendas is what should be questioned. For instance, this week we are in the rule of law week, and even members are asking us, you know, we have what we call continuing legal education training, and we get CLE points for that. So members are saying, guys, are we getting CLE points for these, for the rule of law week? And our response is simple. We have chosen to go digital because we know there's a person who is affected by issues concerning rule of law in this country, who is not on radio, but is on X, is on TV. So we need to go out and roll out that agenda. That is digitalization.
Okay.
So is Ssemakadde shifting you away from what you stood for in the radical new bar?
And that is also wrong, Mr. Simon Kagwanjala. This is what happens in our leadership. I stand as a person contesting for the position of secretary. I know my secretarial roles and duties. So when I'm formulating my agenda, I will inform people that I'll dwell on strengthening the secretariat. I'll dwell on making sure you have proper CLE trainings. You get it? Now, after that, Ssemakadde or the president also runs on his agenda. Now, what should happen is that we get into a house and harmonize how to get this agenda.
So apparently there is disharmony. And things are falling apart.
On the face of it and the perception of the people, things are falling apart.
Do you subscribe to the expulsion of the
I do not.
SG and AG?
I do not. I made my position clear on that. I have always made my position clear on that. The law is clear on that. Yes, we can have excesses. We have what we have termed colonial hangovers. You get it? Article 274 of the Constitution and what have you. But then there are also procedures on achieving that.
So you actually started already on the decolonization?
The house is on fire.
The house...
Thank you very much.
So Ssemakadde has an overbearing influence over the council.
No, that is wrong. That is wrong. I'm a council member. I was voted in power by people who have the right to vote me
Has
out.
council taken any decision yet?
On
anything?
We have taken decisions because we are working.
Or most of the declarations are personal.
You see, they say the word of the letter is in the spirit. If you read the spirit of the letters, are they personal or council decisions? You,
I would ask you.
Mr. Kagwanda.
I would ask
I'm
you.
asking you.
I'm very
I
inept
am
on
asking
that.
you because you communicate to thousands of people.
I'm very inept on that. You could tell us.
Thank you very much, Mr.
You're
Mnawi.
welcome.
Well, Mr. Mnavi,
Clarifying
thank
the
you for
position.
sharing with us. That's the state of affairs within